he was prolific as a young man. 4-time state champion, like he did it all. I honestly think that he was on track to really be a special part of our program here.
Last fall, the Nebraska Wrestling family lost one of their own with the passing of Christian Miller.
Wrestling was always on his mind, and it never left.
Christian could compete at this level, and he just wanted to be known for that.
When we would watch wrestling at home,
He would mention, "Don't you want to be the mom that they pan up to on the screen?" And so, I guess this is the closest thing that we'll get.
Christian Miller was passionate, energetic. Wrestling really brought his passion as a person out in him. And he really expressed his love for others through the sport.
Plainview, Nebraska is a very small town. We have a Family Dollar and a Casey's and a Subway.
When Christian Miller wrestled at Plainview High School, it was Class D. The perception of Class A is the bigger school. They have more of everything. And so Plainview is just looked down upon a little bit.
He hated the term just Class D and would strive to find tough matches and competition within the state. He would go anywhere for a good match.
Christian grew up with his mom, and she was a single mom. And she raised him and his sister and took him around the state and around the country to wrestle and compete. His mom was his best friend, and they experienced everything together. That's part of the reason he wanted to honor her with his accomplishments in life.
Christian was the 28th four-time state champion of Nebraska. I had no doubt that Christian was going to achieve 4 state titles. That's what his goal was.
I realized that everybody in Nebraska knew Christian Miller. 10 people would come up to us, little kids, anywhere. Like, they would just run up and be like, Christian, can you sign my shirt or whatever? Like, all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this kid's a superstar out here.
He had committed to Northern Illinois before we really got to know who Christian Miller was. We looked into more and more, and we thought, man, we probably should have recruited this guy. We were hearing from different coaches in the state that Christian was wanting to reconsider.
Part of that is being a Nebraska kid. He had always grown up and wanted to be a Husker.
He said I could go in as a walk-on, but I would be in a room with the best coaches, the best staff, and the best competition to make me better. That's the only thing that will make me better.
I think Christian really wanted to prove himself, and not just to everybody else, but to his mom.
He was also worried about financially, not having a scholarship to come to the University of Nebraska. And I told him, if that's what your heart desires, we'll do everything it takes.
When you knew Christian in the wrestling room, that was kind of a safe haven because he loved being in here, he loved learning. He loved the fight.
I remember one time, he said he was going down to 133, and he was a little pudgier at the time, and I was like, there's no shot. And next year, sure enough, he sent me a picture on the scale, and he's like, I'm down to 33.
His Twitter handle was Burroughs Jr. I would make fun of him all the time because I'm like, hey, listen, with a Twitter handle like this, you need to be shooting more double legs and you better be good.
So we go to 149 pounds now against Christian Miller, for Nebraska.
Being from Nebraska, he felt that he didn't get a lot of respect from other people around the country in wrestling. And being a part of this team, he really earned that respect.
You can see why Coach Manning is high on Miller. He's battling in the ties.
I was really proud of him because I always knew he'd accomplish something really big. He was always a big dreamer.
I had been with Christian the days before. The doorbell was ringing. The town cop was at my door. And he told me I needed to call Lincoln. That it was bad. And then he told me that Christian didn't make it.
An early morning crash took the lives of 2 college students.
One of them, UNL wrestler Christian Miller.
It was about 6 a.m. and I saw that I had a missed call from our head of our compliance department. He told me the tragedy that Christian had, and I was just shocked.
You get that call and it's like, how can that be? How is this possible?
He passed away literally a block from my house. I think I'm like, well, man, what if, the crash would have happened at an earlier hour? Would I have been awake and would I have been able to, be helpful? I just remember running down and seeing the tree with the missing bark, and I just couldn't help.
Guys really were hurting. They saw Christian on an everyday basis, and now he's not here.
I broke down. I couldn't hold it in. It kind of hit me like, this is real. It really happened. There's no going back now.
You never expect to go to a funeral for your teammate. It was tough, man, especially your best friend.
We lost a family member on our wrestling team, but also...
On this picture they had of him was his shoes hanging over it. I saw him wrestle him a million times and it just killed me.
Sunday, we're paying tribute to Christian Miller. Coach Schneider and his wife got a special friend in Omaha who made shoes for Christian, right? In memory of Christian. They're really awesome. His mom, Amy, and Haley, a lot of you guys know them. They're going to be down on Sunday.
It's great that the boys will be able to have Christian with them on their feet. Christian was good on his feet.
Before the memorial, they were playing a video, and I watched maybe 5 seconds, and I couldn't watch anymore. I got up and I was like, oh man, because I started getting emotional. But just seeing his mom beforehand too, just gave me a little extra strength, I think, out there, and motivation. After I won, I just looked up to her and I kind of gave her a little tap on my chest and I waved to her and I said, that was for you. That was for you and Christian.
There's the 2, and Christian Lance, the walk-off winner for the Cornhuskers.
Christian did it for Christian. He was gonna do it, he was gonna pull it off, and he absolutely did.
He had saved in his phone, he wanted to remember to make his mom and his sister proud.
All the trophies that he won and all the matches that he won are less meaningful than all the stories that will be told by the people that he impacted.
Christian meant so much to this team, And it's something you don't really realize until afterwards.
There's so many things that I take from our times together. One of them is just, hang on, oof, one sec. We just talk about how, like, what he would do, what would Christian do here? And I've kind of kept that mindset this season. Would he stop shooting? No way. He'd shoot again, he'd just keep going.